Namaste. Welcome, dear friends. Here we are. It's Julia from Voice of Plenty. Welcome back. And today, our journey is a special journey because we are guided by a friend who he's really a very close friend of mine. He inspired me a lot. And he's also like me from Italy. So let's start our journey in which we will learn a lot about living water and about the quality of living water. Today we are starting with a meditation about water. This is a page of Leonardo da Vinci's Code, Leicester Code, and it's really deep. We can see here on the left an old man that is watching, but his eyes are like watching in a specific way. It's a kind of meditation. And on the other page, there is water passing around the obstacles, some obstacles, creating eddies, creating circular motions, spirals, vortex. And Leonardo da Vinci was trying continuously to represent the flowing of the water and all the little movements of water passing around obstacles. He was very much attracted by water. So we can say in this page, Leonardo made an instant moment about his life, giving this moment for eternity, in the sense that there is himself or anyone else observing deeply water, and this is a contemplation that can really bring the soul inside a deep state of awareness. So let's start together with Leonardo to observe water, what he was seeing, what he was understanding. Observe the motion of the surface of the water, which resembles that of hair, which has two motions, of which one is caused by the weight of the hair, the other by the direction of the curls. Thus, the water has eddying motions, one part of which is due to the principal current, the other to the random and reverse motion. Leonardo was really amazing in creating connection between different parts of the world, the microscopic world, and the cosmos. So here, immediately he starts to do a comparison between the movement of the water and the movement of the hair. It's really amazing. So the same shape that the curls have, very well. He was a painter, so he was really able to watch carefully the details of human body. So the hair has this shape caused by the weight, but also in the other direction there is the curls revolving. And the water the same. The water has vortex inside, and one part is due to the principal current, but the other one, there is a random motion, reverse motion that Leonardo da Vinci immediately understood. It's something so complex. That's why he told random. So moving water strives to maintain the course, pursuant to the power which occasions it, and if it finds an obstacle in its path, completes the span of the course it has commenced by a circular and revolving movement. So here we are in front of the point. The water finds an obstacle. Whenever the water finds an obstacle, completes the span of the course, it is going around the obstacle and it is starting to do a circular, spiral, revolving movement around it. The small eddies are almost numberless, and large things are rotated only by large eddies and not by small ones. And small things are turned by both small eddies and large. So here, look at the level of detail that Leonardo da Vinci provided in his description. So if we froze something inside the water, large things, like a very big piece of wood, are rotated only by large eddies, and they are not influenced by the small eddies. Instead, something small, if we throw little things like leaves, for instance, small things are turned by both small eddies and large. And here he says the small eddies are almost numberless. That means that Leonardo da Vinci tried to count how many eddies he was able to see inside the river. So we can imagine how long he used to stay there, looking at the river. La terra ha uno spirito di crescita. La carne è il suolo, le ossa la stratificazione delle rocce che formano le montagne, il sangue l'acqua sorgiva. Earth has a spirit of growing. Flesh is the soil, bones the layers of the rocks that creates mountains, blood the spring water. Again, there is a deep connection between flesh, between human body and our planet. It is also a body, so everything is connected with everything. In the view of Leonardo da Vinci, everything can be seen and can be found in everything. That's why he was able to see fractals geometry of the world. So flesh is the soil, bones are the layers of the rocks, and blood is the water flowing inside us. All these quotes we can find inside the Leicester quote that is nowadays there is also a museum in USA and is full of these quotes about the water, description about the water. We will see then also the representations that Leonardo da Vinci made of water. Anyway, let's start our journey because Leonardo da Vinci is inviting us in one of his favorite places in the north of Italy. This is called Adda River. This river is a very beautiful river that is flowing from the North Italy mountains until the plain, going inside the river Po, the main river of north of Italy. And his flowing is very smooth, you can see. For a very big part, it can be sailed very easily. But the history of this river is very particular because also, here we find a beautiful map of the time of Leonardo da Vinci. We can see there was a very big castle, the castle of Trezzo. This is an original map of this river in around the time of Leonardo. But nowadays, last century, on this river, the first electric power supply for Italy was built, and it was able to give the electricity to the whole city of Milan. We are in the second half of 19th century, we have been told it is the second half of 19th century. This is Centrale Carlo Sterle, the first place in which electricity was created in Italy. And nowadays there is a very beautiful museum about that. You can see how advanced the technology was, and also inside a harmonious structure. Here is another factory for electricity, Centrale Bernini. And you can see all the stairs, these very giant steps for water to lose the energy and go down in the water basin. All the structure were built on the same river in which Leonardo da Vinci used to study. So this river has really a huge history. So let's go back on the time of Leonardo da Vinci, and let's see why Leonardo da Vinci used to spend so long time here. Adda River, as we told, has a very smooth flowing, and that's why it was used for bringing wood from the forest of the mountains until the cities in the plain. But there was a problem, because at one point the river was not going anymore so smoothly, and it was creating a lot of little vortex at this, because inside the river there are very big stones. Here you can see the place in which then it was built, this channel, just because the boats were not able to pass through this part. And in the past, before this channel was built, this is the channel that Leonardo da Vinci was called to create. The boats used to remove the wood from them, and to pass through some carriages with horses that were bringing on the road for maybe a couple of kilometers, and after that again new boats were bringing again the wood on the river until the plain. So it was a huge effort. That's why Leonardo da Vinci was called by the Duke of Milan, because he was a very expert engineer about hydraulic. So he was asked, please, to do a project for removing this trouble of the interruption of the sailing of the boats on the river. And here you can see the view of the channel that was built after Leonardo's studies. It was not built at his time, but later. In that time was built another channel nearby Milan called the Martesana. But anyway, this was made on the original project of Leonardo da Vinci. You can see here the dam and the point in which the river was closed. This is the view of the part in which the river Adda creates vortex. Leonardo da Vinci, when he was asked to study this problem, he was very much interested to this point. He started to study also the water, and this point of the river, this part of the river, is called the three horns of Adda River, I tre corni. It was really much in his heart, because he even put these stones, these big stones, are in the middle of the water, and the water is meeting the obstacle and creating the vortex after that. So he put this landscape in the painting he was asked to paint for a monastery in Milan. This is called the Virgin of the Rocks. Nowadays, one copy, the main copy, is in Louvre. The other one is the National Gallery of London. It was the second copy. It's also a very huge story about this painting. Anyway, these rocks that we can see here with the river, they are the representation of this specific point. But why Leonardo da Vinci was so much interested in this point? So let's have a look before to the painting, because it's really beautiful and we can see a lot of symbol inside here. This is the original one, the first, we can say, the first copy that for sure was made by Leonardo da Vinci with some help of another painter. Anyway, we can see a lot of symbol inside. First of all, the shape of a pyramid, so the energy coming from Holy Mary, and the gesture of Holy Mary of the hands. First of all, the two hands, the hands of Holy Mary, so we can say the human level, and the same hand, the hand of the divine level, are the same, with the same gesture of protection. This is a mudra. The mudra is symbol of the hand, the gesture of the hand for protection. And we have two levels of protection. Then again, we have, here you can see in the landscape, we have a lingam, the symbol of the one, the symbol of the energy, the symbol of Shiva in India. But why there is a lingam in the painting of Leonardo da Vinci is very interesting. Anyway, we can discuss this further, but what is important to understand is that the lingam is a symbol of energy connected with electricity. And about that, I will do another video. So just remember about the presence of a lingam in Leonardo da Vinci's painting, please. And then also an interesting, there are a lot of mudra here. We have Abhaya mudra, Suchi mudra, and Prana mudra. Abhaya mudra we have already seen about protection. Then we have Suchi mudra, and then we have Prana mudra. That is typical of Jesus. Jesus is always offering a Prana mudra in many paintings, ancient paintings of Christianity. But the shape also of this angel is very much particular. If we watch here, also his wings and the position of his leg, because here there is the foot, and this color of the mantle, very strong, the red, so the passion, the energy of the blood. So it's really like, like a sphinx, like a sphinx that is showing, that is proposing something to the observer, because in this painting the angel is directly watching the observer. In the other painting is not like that, in the second one. So it's a kind of sphinx showing us the mystery, showing us the mystery of life, the mystery of the divine. So anyway, let's go back to our story. Yes, here we can see another preparation of a painting like that. It's not the same painting, of course. This is another scene, but still we see the same kind of mudra. So Suchi mudra is in this case pointing up, but there is still Jesus with Prana mudra. Hands are really important. There are many levels of communication in the paintings of Leonardo da Vinci. The level of the hands, the level of the eyes, the level of nature. Anyway, let's go back in his favorite place, the place of the three horns. In this place he spent a lot of time, and he watched carefully the flowing of the water around the rocks. I went to this place, I made a video about this place, what is happening there. So I throw a piece of wood, you can see there inside the river, and you can observe how the wood is going back while the rest of the river is going forward, because there is a very big vortex, very big. So the big piece of wood, the big things are moved by the big vortex, the big eddies. And you can see that now the piece of wood tries again to go inside the main direction of the flowing water of the river. Here we can say there is a place of a little bit of stillness. So now the Buddha seems to start the journey together with the main current, but he cannot, because he is inside the vortex. And again, you can see in this place, the water is pushing back. It's very interesting to see what is happening to the water in this part of the river, because something special is happening. There is a very huge vortex here. And Leonardo da Vinci started to represent all the things he was watching. And here we can see his ability in representing the details. Here we have the obstacle and how the water is behaving, the spiral shape that the water is creating just after the vortex, and all the spiral little eddies when the water is coming out with a waterfall, with a jump. He made a lot, and he tried to represent all the shapes of the water. Here another one. It seems really like a curl hair. But also the vortex, not only after, but also behind, with the structure of jumping. If the water is coming down, what is happening between the water and the stairs and the jump? Also here inside, vortex are created. But why Leonardo da Vinci was so interested in this? He was interested also because in the same time he was always studying human body, anatomy. These are his studies about the human heart. He made many representations of human heart, and they're very much detailed, and he immediately understood something very, very important. He was studying the valve. He was studying how the blood was circulating inside the heart and how the heart was able to create pressure for pushing the blood. So he made the representation of the vortex, because he understood that inside our heart, in the aortic valve, little vortex are created by the blood. And thanks to this vortex, there is a strength that allows the heart to push the blood, to create the strength and to move the blood inside the human body. So the vortex are just here, and he made a perfect representation that only in 1970s our advanced systems were able to confirm. And it's really amazing how he was able to see the same pattern of the river inside our little river of the blood. There is another person who went on with this kind of observation, and maybe I will do another video about him, because there is a lot to learn from this man. We can say he is a modern version of Leonardo with the water. Victor Schauberger from Germany. He lived in the period of the Second World War. That's why all his studies, because it was a very big reset, and all his studies were removed, deleted, because they were too much advanced. And we know that the aim of the reset is to bring down the knowledge of humanity. So here instead we have all the project of Victor Schauberger. He used to watch for a long time the rivers in the forest, observing the connection between water and moon, observing the movements of water, creating the spirals. He understood that water doesn't like to flow linearly. Water would like always to curve, to create round shapes as the rivers, the meanders of the rivers. The river is never straight if we leave rivers free. But unluckily, the rivers are not free anymore. Everywhere there is a dam, everywhere there is channel. So we remove the curves. And this is really the problem nowadays, because water is not alive anymore. Water is alive when it is meeting obstacle, creating curves, creating vortex, and in this way water is able to create electromagnetism and to maintain the charge, to maintain ionization of the molecules. Not only of the molecules of water, but of the molecules of metals inside the water, because water is also interacting with stones, and stone is also a magnetic field. So there is a really deep communication through electromagnetism between water and stones that is able to grow life and to grow everything on this planet, because water is the way for life to express. It's the main information that is creating life is coming from water. And another amazing effect about vortex we can nowadays watch about the sky, because also water is in the sky. Here we have the clouds, and here on the right we have Canary Islands in the Atlantic Ocean nearby Africa. And when the water of the clouds and the flowing of the clouds of the air is meeting the obstacle of the islands, just after the obstacle, vortex are created. This is called in physics Kármán effect, from the name of the physicist Kármán, who studied this effect. So here another example, we are in Cape Verde Islands, and again, after the clouds meets the obstacle of the islands, the vortex are created. You can see how beautiful they are and perfect, the geometry of nature. So we can understand now clearly that after the studies of Leonardo da Vinci, he already understood this. When water flowing, here we have the representation with the rays of the field. When the water is meeting an obstacle, it is going around, and immediately after the obstacle, the direction is turning back, creating circles, and then the circles are creating a movement that is producing the spirals, the vortex. What does it mean? Because we are also water, so the importance of the obstacles is really clear now. Because when we meet obstacles also in our life, in astrology we can say maybe Saturn is creating some kind of transit, okay, for us, giving us a lot of beautiful obstacles, but Saturn is our teacher, because obstacles are what we need for our evolution, for activating the processes of our life, for be able to move our karma and then to remove our karma. If we don't meet obstacles, we are always at the same point. We are still. And water is teaching us this in a very beautiful way. So, as water is able to activate electromagnetism from vortex after obstacles, is the same for us. We can find new resonance, new coherent domains, now we will see, and we can go in higher levels of awareness. So we will talk about coherent domains in another video. So now thank you for listening. This is a story, this is the journey that Leonardo da Vinci would like to tell us today about living water. So start to watch carefully water. Please spend your time nearby the rivers and spend silence nearby rivers, nearby streams. And thank you for listening. Here, I hope you enjoyed this little video, and see you next time with another little adventure together with living water. Namaste.